I'm David Fuller, and I have two sons. One is married, who's not autistic, but the second youngest son is Jonathan, who is autistic. The start of school, infants, he stood out from the other children, and that is when really we noticed that we should get him diagnosed, and of course he came out with autism. Well, we put it down in two words, the social skills, but for example, the children would be told a story at 4 years old, 5 years old, by the teacher, but Jonathan would walk around the edge of the room in the periphery, wanting his own space. You take break time or lunch time, any school he went to, after 4 or 5 years old, he'd be walking around the outskirts of the playing field by himself. He needed his own space, and he would be going around talking to himself, doing his own thing. So this is something that stood out from the crowd, as it were. He's now an adult, he's now 39 years old. It doesn't seem long ago, time flies, but certainly well, my wife died 20 years ago, so Jonathan lost his mother when he was a teenager. But we've had difficulties, the family, or I have anyhow, over the years, but things are much better now than when he was at a younger age. Things like puberty was difficult, adolescence was difficult, employment was difficult. Everything that we take for granted probably was difficult. But Jonathan now has, with help and support, he's gone forward a lot. As an adult, when you're on the autistic spectrum, and it stands out more than when you're a child. I mean, the mannerisms and behaviour when you're young, as I see it, like children say, oh, he's spoiled, or he's having a tantrum, or he's tired, you know, it doesn't show. But as the children get older, I found that, of course, the autistic spectrum in Jonathan stood out as an adult much more, and of course it was much more difficult to deal with people. The academics stood out as a deficiency, but certainly, as I say, otherwise it's the mannerisms, things like bringing hands or clapping, or particularly smiling in the wrong places. And of course, if you smile at strangers, you know, they may take offence because they don't realise. Smiling in the wrong place, a stranger can say, well, you know, I'll go and sort him out, what's he, you know, what's... So you have things in society which are difficult to deal with sometimes. I don't think the support for autism is as good as it could or should be. People don't understand it. They don't see it, they don't pay for it, you know, it's not there. Broken legs and physical, you know, it gets attended much better, I think. That's how I see it, anyhow. 5 years ago, he got his own place with carers, so he comes to me at weekends. So that's progress. In other words, what we call independent living is a step on the ladder. And if I went under a bus, it's progress. He's got support in position. He's got to be busy. Like most of us, we need a job. And we don't think so. We only go for wages. We don't. We go for other reasons. And Jonathan needs to be busy. But certainly, Vet2 Green and Phoenix are lifesavers because they give him a purpose, something to do. You have to be understanding, you have to have other people understanding, and it's not straightforward. You've got a lot more attention, responsibility, commitment, I think, than somebody who's a normal teenager, goes off to play football and they're missing, you know, and you know they're all right, they're safe. So the challenges are more care. He has surprised me over the years. He can read, but he's not very good on arithmetic. I thought it might be the other way around. Every time he goes to a shop, he gives a note and hopes he gets the right change. I mean, he couldn't go and buy his own clothes because he can't do sizes, numbers of waist or collar, you know. Jonathan will never argue. No, he's not capable of arguing. He probably can't debate, you see. So he's a placid, what I call a gentle giant. So I think his character's the best thing, you know, his temperament. Very good, really, because you'd never row, never argue. No.